Am I ever going to stop making videos? Clearly, the answer is no. Come back after the titles and see what I've got in store for you in this one. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, Mile Train Outsider, Märklin Outsider, a Knight of the Rhomboid Table, and you should know that by heart with all these videos I'm posting. I'm just flooding the airwaves now. But you saw all the track work video, and you saw the trip to Ormandy's, which was really good, and you saw that Joyce bought me a locomotive. So that's what we're going to highlight today, is this little beauty that Joyce bought for me. This is Märklin model number 36638. This was, if I remember, a Märklin special, perhaps an MHI. I didn't look it up, but if I remember correctly, that right there is the MHI, the Märklin Handlers Initiative, or that might be the shop special. It was a rare release. This was not generally released to most stores. But you could order it. I don't remember it being offered through Lipa. But anyhow, when I did see it and debated ordering it, other things came up and I decided not to. So this is kind of new old stock. It's a 2019 model, I believe. Again, I didn't double check. And you saw the story about it in the previous video if you watched the Ormandy's shop video, so I won't rehash it here. Let's just get it out on the track here and take a look at it. I'll have to run it in. I did take it out of the box and show it off on my Saturday live stream for Wacky Weekend. Already show, but on my channel. But I have not done anything with it yet. So let's do something with it. Here it is on my track, and if you hear a background humming noise, that is a space heater I have down here. It's a little nippy in the basement today. Anyhow, a beautiful locomotive. I do like the Class 147s. In fact, when Märklin released their first Class 147, I bought it, which is one of the reasons why I didn't buy this one. I bought it in the Deutsche Bahn Red, and it was readily available and a little bit cheaper than this one. But I do like this, and at the time the 147s came out, they were supposed to replace all the 146s, and yet I see a lot more 146s than I see 147s. Now, maybe because other models have come out and they're just all shifting that way now. I mean, in the real industry, not models. But anyhow, this has at least 22 light and sound functions, but very well detailed. LED lighting. So let's get up close and look at the detailing of it. I will tell you that this came in at 395 grams. To be honest, I thought it felt lighter than that. It does feel to be a little bit lighter. We'll see if that affects its running in any way, shape, or form, because in the end, it's really about the motor and not the weight. But I do like my locomotives to get over that 400 gram weight line. They just seem to work better. The 450s just seem to pull better than the 395s. Now, granted, I have some that are 340, 350 and work just fine. So we'll see how this one works. But I just, excellent detailing on the front here. Separately applied windshields and all the little colored items that have been put on the front. The colors really stand out nicely. Solid detailing up top. Very natural. And of course, the coloring is white with a red stripe, so you're not going to see a very fancy livery. But as always, the under detailing, the lettering and numbering is just crisp and crystal clear on this scale. it is just a very sharp loco all the way around. And I'm very happy to have this, and I certainly didn't think Friday I would have this loco, and then Saturday it's in my house. So I'm going to run it in, and then we will run it up the incline test, and then we'll probably give it a little special running with its matching set of cars, along with maybe a friend today. Some people have asked me, why don't I show it running in? I figured you'd be bored, but here it is. You'll get a better running. As this is a 5-year-old model, I did take the top off and check the motor to see if anything, residue, grease, oil was clumped up, dried out. It definitely didn't need a cleaning. Everything looked good. It's relatively quiet. Not the quietest running in I've had, but and this has just started running in, so we'll give it a good 20 minutes one direction and 20 to 30 minutes the other direction and see how it goes. Back then. We have run the 147.5 in, so now let's see how it does on the incline. We're going to start it up, run it about half its suggested speed, and go from there. And this is the first impressions I've done since I've redone all the track. Not that it affects the ramp or anything. So here we go, up the ramp. Not really seeing any hesitation. Okay. Not bad at all, so let's kick up the speed. Definitely slowed down coming in that corner there. But now up the incline. All right, no hesitation, but it is seeming to bump a bit on the slips and turnouts, which means we might want to adjust the shoe, the ski, the schleifer. All right, let's go to a final evaluation. So it ran in well. Seemed to need a few seconds, couple of minutes to really find its feet and get going, so to speak. But again, this has been sitting boxed, unopened for 5 years, and there's always a concern that, and I should cut myself off right there. It's natural for me to be concerned when something with a motor has been sitting for 5 years to worry about it. Märklin, it's usually pretty good. It's not really gonna be an issue. I have bought many 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old Märklins that have never been run in, and just a little bit of oil and checking that there's nothing gumming up in the gears, but they're very clean and they're usually ready to go. Sometimes though, just the motors and the wiring have sat there in a box, and while it's been in climate controlled, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cold, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cold. You know, in the winter, you close the store, you turn off the heat in the store, and it's going to experience those subtle changes in temperature and humidity. So, yeah, you want to check it out. Just get into it, make sure it's looking good on the inside, and then run it. And sometimes it's going to take a few seconds, literally just a few seconds, for all the systems to start firing. The electrical current to flow, things that haven't seen electrical current in years since they were tested at the factory. So I'm belaboring the point, I'm sure. But it ran in nice. I feel like it runs a little slow. Not even hesitantly, not too slow. Just I don't know if its speed steps are a little off. That's just something you'll manually adjust. But it ran well. It handled the incline well. The one thing that I think I noticed that I will look more into, although I've already checked as part of my run-in test, was to make sure that the shoe was all right. But it definitely bumped going over the one slip and the one turnout on lane 1, going, you know, even before the incline going up there. Everywhere else it seemed to be okay, but those two places it seemed to just bump a bit. So maybe as it gets even more running in, it will also adapt to that. I like it. Let's face it, it was a loco. If you watched the Ormandy's video, it was a loco I wanted when it came out, but then elected not to get it. And now I've got it, so I'm very pleased. I think it looks sharp. I do like the design of the 147.5s along with the 147s that were originally supposed to replace the 146s. It looks good. Ran smoothly. It was not my quietest runner. It wasn't like it was noisy, but you know, you knew it was running on there with the ski. You're hearing the ski roll. So again, just one of those things. Trying to tighten up the ski, push the springs up a little bit, and see if that's the issue. Just maybe the ski's a little too slack, and you need to stiffen it up a bit. So I think it's great, but as we all know, it's time, over time. How well is it going to go? Something can be great out of the box, and 6 months later, it's not working well. That's why I call these videos first impressions, because I like to share sort of the excitement or even the immediate concerns when I get a new locomotive. And when it's new old stock, that's always something to worry about. But I think it's a great runner, and I think you'll agree with it. You'll see it on my live stream Friday, and you'll see a little bit of it here on the end of this video. So I'm going to leave you with some running shots, and until my next video, which is going to be I don't know if this will come out after our next song, but I think it'll come out before our next song. We've got another parody song coming. So until then, I want to say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.